everyone. In this video we are going to see about angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors. Let's get into the video. So the angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors are captopril, enalapril, lisinopril, benazepril, ramipril, fosinopril, quinapril, trandolapril, imidapril and perindopril. The captopril is the most important angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor. This is the prototype which we are going to discuss today. And the other four important angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors are enalapril, lisinopril, ramipril and imidapril. Keep this in your mind, these four angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors. Okay. So let's go about captopril. As I said, this is the prototype of angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors. Under this we are going to discuss about mechanism of action. Second is pharmacokinetics and third is adverse effects and the last one is interactions. So let us discuss about these things deeply. First is mechanism of action. So before going into this mechanism of action, you should know this. Okay, so liver gives angiotensinogen, okay, and kidneys secrete renin, okay. So only with this renin we get angiotensinogen into angiotensin 1. Okay, only with this renin we get angiotensin 1 with the help of angiotensinogen. So with this angiotensin 1 we cannot get any side effects or problems to our body. Only with this angiotensin converting enzyme ACE we get angiotensin 1 is converted into angiotensin 2, okay, which is secreting from lungs. Okay, so we understood that only with that ACE we get angiotensin 2. So if we stop this angiotensin converting enzyme, angiotensin 1 will be there but angiotensin 2 will not be there. Okay, so only for this reason we are using angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors. Next is angiotensin 2 actions, that is vasoconstriction, increased sodium and water retention and increased aldosterone secretion. Because of vasoconstriction only we are getting hypertension. Okay, so keep this in mind. So this angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors stop the secretion of angiotensin converting enzyme from the lungs, okay, so that we can stop the production of angiotensin 2. So the example of angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors is captopril. So let's go into the mechanism of action of captopril back. So captopril lowers BP, okay, that is the main function of captopril. It lowers BP but in short term. Okay, next is the magnitude of responses depend on the sodium status and the level of RAS activity, renin angiotensin system activity. Fall in BP is more marked. Sodium has been depleted by dietary restrictions, diuretics and congestive heart failure patients. Greater fall in BP occurs in three hypertensions: renovascular, accelerated and malignant hypertension. So the important points you have to keep in mind is captopril lowers BP but its action is very short, and the magnitude of response depends on sodium status and also the level of renin angiotensin system activity. And the fall in BP will be marked, but greater fall in BP can be seen in hypertensions like renovascular, accelerated and malignant hypertensions. Next is the treatment with ACE inhibitors causes feedback increase in renin release, resulting in overproduction of angiotensin 1. So when we give this angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors, there will be increase in renin release. Okay, so we know that renin will converts angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1. So more renin causes more conversion of angiotensinogen into angiotensin 1. So our body have more angiotensin 1. Since its conversion to angiotensin 2 is blocked, angiotensin 1 produces other angiotensin. So now we cannot produce angiotensin 2 because we are using angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors. So this angiotensin 1 remains in our body, that gets converted to other type of angiotensin like 127, and that angiotensin 127 have vasodilation property. So vasodilation property straightly causes reduction in BP. Okay, so this is a feedback mechanism that takes place when we use angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors. Is the very most important mechanism of captopril. Okay, next is pharmacokinetics. About 70% of captopril is absorbed. Okay, orally we are taking captopril, no, that is 70% is absorbed. Penetration brain is poor, so it cannot go into brain. Partially metabolized and partially excreted unchanged in urine. It is partially metabolized and it also partially excreted in urine, and its action lasts for 6 to 12 hours. Okay, keep this in mind, its action is 6 to 12 hours. Next is adverse effects. It causes hypotension because its main function is to reduce the hypertension. So it may cause hypotension, hyperkalemia, it may cause cough, rashes, dysgeusia. Dysgeusia is changes in taste sensation. Okay, that is dysgeusia. Headache, dizziness, nausea, bowel upset can be occur, and proteinuria. Protein can be excreted in urine, and it also can cause acute renal failure. Okay, so these are the adverse effects. You should keep it in your mind. It is very important. Okay, next is interactions. This captopril treatment cannot be used in patients who are taking diuretics or NSAIDs or antacids, because it have lots and lots of side effects, because in diuretic patients it can cause the hyperkalemia definitely. Okay, so we should not use captopril in these kinds of patients. So uses is hypertension, congestive heart failure, myocardial infarction. This is very important. Three things: hypertension, congestive heart failure, myocardial infarctions. We can use captopril in these three conditions, and it can also be used in conditions like diabetic nephropathy and scleroderma crisis. But the three things very important use of captopril is hypertension, congestive heart failure, and the last is myocardial infarction. Keep this in mind, very important. And question of the day is, what is the duration of action of captopril? I hope you all know the answer. Leave the answer in the comment. Okay, thank you.